Hey, how y'all doing? Um, I'm just gonna say this, I'm just gonna speak what's on my mind. So, long story short, I fell off the wagon, and there were a few hiccups. Like I would try to upload maybe 5 times over the last time since I uploaded, but YouTube Studio would like block my uploads. It was weird. And Marlo, stop. My dog's whining because, I just mopped and stuff. And he can't be walking. But it's interesting because I'm not even going to blame the fact that, YouTube wasn't allowing me to upload the videos from my phone on the reason why I just haven't been consistent in almost any part of my life since the last time I've talked to you. The day after I uploaded that last video, I relapsed. And, I did make a video, but it was like, but I didn't upload it. You know what I mean? Because it got blocked. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to come to you guys and tell y'all that I had failed. And right there, that was kind of the defeat. The defeat of my mission in that time. You know what I mean? Like I chose to give up. At the end of the day, I can't come to y'all and say I did whatever it took to get this upload going, to show up for y'all, to be there, to show people what it really looks like to be on similar attention for God and not for lustful purposes and not for all these other purposes. And I failed to live up to that standard. So for that, I apologize to you all, because if I'm not going to do it all the way, why should I even come up here and make that promise if I'm not going to follow through with it? So, yeah, just to catch up with y'all, in general, I was thinking that ever since high school, and specifically, I would say after 11th grade in high school, that's really when I fell off. And I say this for a few reasons. But looking back, I started a job too since the time, I have a whole new job now. And I met this guy and he goes to a private school in our area. It's known as, a very strict private school. And I was asking him, hey man, what was it like being there? And long story short, man, he took calculus, a senior class that I had failed in 10th grade. And the workload was insane. You had to memorize everything. The discipline on your uniform. You had to come prepared. Essentially everything you could think of, man. More discipline in the military. I would rather go through boot camp than go to that school, from what he told me. But I'm telling y'all to say this because he went through that. And at the end of the day, it produced something. You could tell. And what I want to say is, I have, over time, done the opposite of what the school did to him. And I'm realizing it now. See, that school set the standard. But what I chose to do is lower the standard for myself. This is not the only YouTube channel that I wanted to do. I had a whole goals for the year board for 2026. Had the amount of money I wanted to make. I wanted to make $40K. I had the fact that I wanted to find women that qualified to be my wife. I wanted to be a man that could have a wife. You know what I mean? That a man that, like, just out of a sense of love. Like, now, the man I am, if I love, or yeah, really, a lot of times, most of the women that I think are Christian and would be a good wife for me, well, I chose, I really don't want to get in a relationship with them because I don't trust myself. And I love them too much, or, I care for them enough to be like, no, man, because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to mess their life up. I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm going to bring it back. You know what I mean? So I have lowered the bar for myself consistently since, we'll probably say, around 11th grade, at the end of 11th grade, going into senior year. That's when I started to lower the bar for myself. And I had already been doing it discipline-wise before that. But, as parents started to loosen some of the restrictions on me, and as I started to begin to get more free, I allowed myself to slip, truly. There were times, like genuinely looking at it, man, the basic things that a child should be doing, his homework, stuff like that, I had not been doing. And just not showing up the way I wanted to in class, personal goals I had set for myself, I had chosen to ignore. Basketball, I played basketball. And here's the thing about basketball. It's a mental game as much as it is like a skill game. Does he have to use that? It's mental as much as it is skill wise, like practicing and stuff like that. And honestly, I was just I was thinking recently about even basketball. Man, the times that I truly practiced basketball for 1 year, or not even 1 year. There was one period which lasted about, I'll say, 2 to 3 months, where I was actually practicing basketball. And that was going into my 11th grade year. And I say this because, of course it was mental too. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take more risks. I'm just going to score. Things of that nature, right? But also, it was the fact that I had given up on the process of practicing. And it was so subtle to the fact, to the point where it was like, wow, genuinely, I think I was better at this in the past than I was in my senior year. And senior year is supposed to be your best year. Now, I'm just saying all this to bring it to the point of semen retention, right? My semen retention journey, since high school, there has been one point in my life where I was like, you know what? I genuinely think I went above and beyond. And that was at this point it's 7 months ago, that since the point where I feel like I hit a record. And that's when, that one time, maybe back in November, I was like, man, of course it was no, not November, I was going around this time. But I had told myself, I was like, man, you are going on semen retention, but you're edging, you're doing all these things to artificially just hit the goals that you want to hit. And you get into these places, but you're actually cheating yourself out of the goals or the experiences that you will get if you just did it the right way. And bro, that one time when I was in college, and I told myself, you know what, man, I'm at least gonna go a whole month, just know nothing. go on a pure streak, do things the right way. And when I did it that way, I felt like a whole different person. I felt like I was better